And no doubt, you're right, people will remember where they were last year when the Queen's funeral took place and when the Queen died, and that obviously signalled the end of an era. I wonder, though, whether the Charles coronation can ever match that.
Well, you can't. It's impossible to match something which has never been experienced in entire British history, a 70-year reign of the Queen, and someone who has actually been there for all of our collective memory. None of us really have known anything other than the Queen's reign, unless you're, you know, very, very old. But the most important thing is that in this country, we don't have a national Independence Day like Bastille Day or July the 4th in America. We are the world's oldest continuous democracy. And the downside of that is we don't have many chances to come together as a nation. And so it's royal weddings, it's funerals, jubilees, but most importantly, it's coronations that provide that great moment to actually say, what does it mean to be British? And how does British identity come into place? And how does social cohesion come into effect with street parties and celebrations bringing communities together? And it's a rare chance for us to actually have a patriotic outburst. And so I think it's just unfortunate that this period, from the Queen's death to the coronation, is all supposed to be about the King cementing his role as King, reintroducing himself to the nation, and also to the Commonwealth realms, where they don't really know him that well, putting his own stamp on the monarchy. And that's all been overshadowed and hijacked, actually, by Harry and Meghan and their superficial shenanigans. And so now I think all focus should be on the monarchy and the good work that they do.
Yeah. And do you think that those who support Harry and Meghan will kind of fade into the background over time? Because, again, even some of those people that I've been arguing with for a good few months, if not years, about them, have had to sort of admit that maybe they were wrong, that maybe they shouldn't have actually trusted them. In fact, funnily enough, I was out in our West London studios where a lady on Piers Morgan's show, who is from Black Lives Matter, basically said that she now doesn't support them at all because she sees them as complete and utter charlatans, liars, and people who have completely twisted the narrative to suit themselves, and she regrets ever backing them.
I think it's becoming increasingly aware that the Sussex squad backed the wrong side. You've got the diehards, and actually the diehards tend to be people who've never really had any knowledge or interest of monarchy, don't understand how it works, who will stay true as their Praetorian Guard to the very end. But the fact that you've got such leading figures in America who were previously very sympathetic towards the Sussexes, people like Don Lemon, the daytime hosts of a daytime TV show, and other hosts in America, saying that what they're doing is gauche, calling Prince Harry a man baby. I mean, yes, I think the veils have come off the rose-tinted spectacles.
Yes.
And they're seeing them for who they are.
I think so. The other interesting development, I suppose, towards the end of this week, going into the weekend, is Prince Andrew apparently wants to use his titles once again after reaching an understanding, he says, or people close to him say, with the King. It's a strange one, this, isn't it?
Well, we should say, first of all, none of these have been. This hasn't been confirmed. It's all based on an article in the Daily Mail. But I mean, what on earth is he thinking, and where is his timing? I've just told you how important it is not to have any distractions. We've had more. There are a terrible twosome, Andrew and Harry. We've had enough from Harry. We don't need Andrew sticking his oar in just now, 3 months before the coronation. I think it will be extremely unwise for him to be given back his use of H.R.H. Prince Andrew and Prince Harry both still legally have the title of H.R.H., but they don't use it, and they haven't got permission to use it at the moment. And I think it would be a bizarre thing to do at this time, to try to cause another conflagration around
well, it would. But, I mean, he's always been famously tone-deaf, Andrew. He doesn't really understand why he's ever had to take a step back from royal duties, and maybe he sees the coronation as his last hurrah. You know, the last time he can actually get the old gear on, get the sword out, and start prancing about, looking as if he's an important guy. Because he won't have another chance probably after that.
Yes, I mean, well, he's lost all of his royal colonelcies, all of his honorary positions in the military. He's essentially become a pariah to anybody, and he stains any event that he comes to. And he distracts, you know, and you don't want to have headlines about either Harry or Andrew when the headline should be about the King at the coronation. Any distractions need to be done away with. But yes, the man is so lacking in self-awareness. It's quite a remarkable sight to see. He says that he's perplexed as to why he can't use his H.R.H. title. Well, the rest of the nation isn't perplexed as to why he can't. because you got on a plane and you went over to America and did things you shouldn't do.
And even if he didn't do the things that he may say he didn't do, he was consorting with the wrong kind of people. And so that alone, I think, would...
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I was referring to, yeah.
Absolutely right. Rafe, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Rafe Heydel-Mankoo there on the Royals.